Democratic Alliance MP Emma Powell has announced her resignation as the party's spokesperson on international relations and cooperation. She made the news public through a statement on X yesterday. Powell says she made the decision to step down from that role after being threatened, intimidated, harassed and illegally surveilled. Let's get you more on this with the DA spokesperson, Willie Aucamp, who joins us now via our video link. And Willie, it's lovely to see you. Thanks very much indeed for making time to speak to us. Did Emma Powell's resignation and the reasons for this come as a surprise?
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. If you look at what Emma Powell had to endure over the last specifically 2 weeks, with allegations made against her, the ANC coming out in a statement, really taking her on, attacking her, an article in the Sowetan revealing that the state security agencies have investigated her and gave a report. It is really a terrible thing that she had to go through. She says in the statement that she's been harassed, that she's been threatened. This is not things that should happen with a member of parliament when you are doing your oversight. A couple of weeks ago, Emma Powell made it clear that Mr. Jonas and SABC Jonas did not get a diplomatic visa when he applied for one to the United States. And up to now, not the presidency nor Mr. Jonas could provide proof of his diplomatic visa. And so Mrs. Powell was right in what she said there. But still, the ANC then decided to, instead of coming out with the truth, let's rather go on the offensive and attack Mrs. Powell. And what happened here is totally unacceptable.
All right. But did you expect for her to, I suppose, my question still stands, did you expect for her to step away as a result of that? And we'll speak about the substance of the claims, because I do appreciate that there are allegations and counter-allegations about what Emma Powell had done. But I just want to, gauge from the side of the DA whether or not this was a unilateral decision she's made or one supported and sanctioned by the Democratic Alliance.
Well, we obviously support Ms. Powell. I've myself made a statement last week to come out in support of her on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. The fact that she made this decision was made on a personal basis. She felt that she can't continue in that position. I cannot speak on her behalf of her feelings and what she has gone through. I can just imagine what she must have felt, and that it must have been very terrible to be in such a position. The Democratic Alliance has got the utmost respect for her. I've got the utmost respect for the work that she has done while she was serving as our spokesperson on international relations. And we will very soon appoint her to a new portfolio where I am sure she will continue to do her outstanding work as a member of parliament for the Democratic Alliance. But I can't speak on her behalf. I mean, we all read a statement, and if you read that statement, it is very clear that she were under an immense amount of pressure that she should not have been under. She should have been supported in doing her oversight role properly.
Sure. The allegations she makes are serious. The allegations against her are also serious. What's the Democratic Alliance's approach to, at the very least, clearing the air about what happened? Because whilst I appreciate that there'll be a back and forth between these two organizations, the optics, I'm sort of really, you'll also agree, aren't helpful to anyone. The fact that she's being accused of disinformation and hours later she steps away from the role through which we understand that disinformation allegedly was being peddled.
Well, it's very easy to solve this whole thing. Mr. Jonas, show us your diplomatic visa. It's easy. Emma Powell was telling the truth. She did not tell any misinformation. She did not share any misinformation with the United States. And so let's start with Mr. Jonas. Produce your diplomatic visa. Produce your letter where you show us that the United States is willing to negotiate with you as our special envoy. You cannot produce that. So firstly, Mrs. Powell was right in what she has said. Then with regards to allegations that whilst she was in the United States in February, together with Mr. Andrew Whitfield, that they have asked for sanctions and that they have done things contrary to what's in the best interest of this country, the Democratic Alliance stands firm that neither Ms. Powell nor Mr. Whitfield did anything other than to act in the benefit of this country. We we are really proud of the work that they've done there. They have not asked for any sanctions, whether it's against an individual or a grouping or the country. They've not asked for that.
Yeah, and I suppose yeah, apologies for interrupting you there, Willie. I suppose in the same way in which you ask for proof, I can imagine people watching asking whether the Democratic Alliance has any proof of that. Are there minutes that clearly show what was discussed, down to the detail of whether or not they had made any kind of push for sanctions against anyone?
Well, I'm in the inside circles of the DA, and I can tell you now I've had discussions with both Emma Powell and Andrew Whitfield on this, and never once was discussed what is now being alleged by the ANC. I think it is trying a smokescreen for the incompetency with which they are handling our foreign affairs responsibilities at this moment. The Democratic Alliance has, over the last couple of years, built up a very good relationship with both the Biden and then the Trump administration, with both sides of the aisle, with Republicans and Democrats. In February, when Emma Powell and Andrew Whitfield went to the United States, it was at a stage where the president battled to get a meeting with President Trump. They did not want to speak with the ANC. So now you're sitting in this situation where that happened in February. You find out that a member of parliament is being surveyed by the state security agencies, that there's a report of that commission that was leaked, and it should not be, it's not allowed for that to be published, but it's totally false. So the Democratic Alliance, there's no minutes that I can show you because I was not there. But I can tell you now that in all the discussions that we've had, they've never asked for anything of that. So I really think it's a smokescreen. Right. Let the ANC come to a point, Ayanda, where they realize that they are a 39% party. Let's say me and you owe a house together. And you've got 39% of the house, I've got 22%, and there's some other people as well. Now we rent out that house. Are you entitled to the total rental income? No, you're not. And in the same way, the ANC, as a 39% party, is not allowed to handle our foreign affairs as if they have got 100% of this party. It should never be like that. They should start to listen to their partners within this GNU when it comes to foreign affairs as well.
All right, so in other words, the public should just take their word for it that nothing bad was said in the US, because there's really nothing else we can offer to prove that.
Well, I think our word is good enough. We've proven in the past that we act in the best interest of everybody. I think, Ayanda, should you want a affidavit in that regard, it can be arranged to do that. So, but we know what was said. And to now, after 5 months, come out and say, but this is what was said by them, just in reaction to the fact that Emma Powell exposed you for lying and deceiving the public because you did not obtain a diplomatic visa for your special envoy. That is not supposed to be like that. And it should never be that members of parliament are being investigated by state security agencies.
All right. You've brought in the GNU into our discussion. So let me ask you a question around where you reckon all of this leaves this pact, which was, strung together by, it feels, a very weak thread to begin with. It's the latest flashpoint in a very close, time. And, once again, real questions are going to come up about how confident the country should be that this coalition will continue to coalesce for the duration of its term.
I think the mere fact that we are sitting where we are now after a very difficult first year, let's not beat around the bush about that. It was difficult. We had the fight against Bella. We had the first budget that would have been, the budget speech that would have been delivered on the 19th of February, where we would have had a 2% VAT increase. The DA fought against that. We fought against the second budget that was on the 12th of March. At the end of the day, we went to court to get VAT scrapped. And that is what we've done, because we stood up for the people of South Africa. When the DA entered the government of national unity, we made it clear that we will not become a rubber stamp for the ANC. And that is what we have shown. And I think throughout all of this, it really helped us a lot to grow as the GNU. I think it is a difficult thing for the ANC to get to a point where they must become used to the fact that they don't govern alone anymore. that they've got to share governance and power. And steady but surely they are getting to that point. But we as members of parliament did not, when we entered the GNU, lose our constitutional responsibility of doing oversight over the executive. And that is precisely what Emma Powell has done. That is what I myself, as a member of the agriculture portfolio, must do, even where there's a minister from the DA in the form of John Steenhuisen on that portfolio. I do proper oversight because I swore an oath that I will do that. And we've got to keep the executive to account. And I believe that the GNU, through all of this, is starting to grow because we are starting to iron out problems, starting to see what we must and should not do. But we cannot be a rubber stamp. If anybody is putting the GNU at risk, it is those people that does not agree to the fact that there is now a total power sharing. And we must get to that point where we institute the statement of intent that was signed by everybody.
I think the point is loud and clear. Willie Aucamp, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Willie Aucamp is the DA spokesperson, and needless to say, if the ANC would like to respond to some of the claims made there, we're more than willing to facilitate that discussion. But Willie Aucamp, once again, thanks very much indeed.